Hey everyone, welcome to TRS. We are live. The next year, you released your movie, Meet Beau Dick, Maker of Monsters, a documentary that you wrote, produced, directed, and won an award for. Can you tell me about what inspired you to make it, and what was it like getting recognized for it all?
Yeah, so I co-directed it with LaTiesha Fazakas. And so, wow, it was a really amazing project. Very different than, as I was just talking about working with my husband. I'm very much a planner, and I do things until I feel like they're ready. So we filmed for 7 years, the documentary.
Wow.
Yeah, so we followed Beau during like a journey. We went to very remote areas of Alert Bay up in BC, and we just filmed these really special moments. Not all of it could make it into the final film. We have another film there, but it was a really special film in the fact that a lot of times when you're working in production, it's go, 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 go. This is you work really long days. You have everything really scheduled out. Everything's on a plan. Everything's organized. But with Beau, it was very fluid, and it was very much, we would end up in ceremony, and, there's a lot of protocols that you have to do when you're filming in these remote Indigenous communities. And it's acknowledging those different ways of looking at creating art. And so that really gave me a chance to slow down, and that producer hat in me that's always in a rush, like just to calm it down and be like, if we don't get it today, there's a reason for it. Then you really start believing in the universe and pulling it all together. And then like some special thing would come out of the day that we never would have known. And we really just followed it like that the whole duration of the film. And what inspired me to work on the project was actually LaTiesha had approached me because I was working on another documentary, and she was the basically manager for Beau. She was his art manager, and at a gallery. And she was like, I just want you to come see his art, because when you see his art, you'll know why I want to do a project on him. So I came to her home, and she had a giant book mask, which is like the woman in the woods. And when I saw, it was like alive. Like it had so much spirit in it, and you like whole body just chills when you see it. And you're just like, I have to meet Beau. And then the first time I met Beau, I just like, it's just one of those kind of mentoring elders in the community that is so wise that you just learn so much from spending time, that every interview, every moment was really an honor, and it was really precious. And I learned so much, not just about patience in film, but in life in general. Really amazing stories and lessons in life. And I think that was probably one of the best experiences for sure.
It sounds fully transformative.
That's like the definition of what that project was transformative. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it when projects take you over.
Yeah, it definitely took me over, and it was so amazing. At the end of the project, Beau had actually passed away at the end. He was able to see the rough cut and approve it, and he had made some original soundtrack for it, and it was really nice that he was able to see it. And I feel like it's an amazing honor to have being able to capture that much of his legacy. And I'm hoping that we can start using some of the other stuff that we weren't able to put in the final film, because we have so many we have 3 films worth of footage from the 7 years.
Is there anywhere we could see this? I couldn't find.
In Canada, it streams on CBC Gem, but I think it's geo-blocked for Canada. But it also is on Amazon. So it depends, because each region has different regulations. So I'm pretty sure in the US it's on Amazon still, and Apple iTunes. I'm pretty sure it's in the US on Amazon and Apple iTunes.
Okay. I will definitely check it Amazon this evening probably because I read it and then I looked into his artwork. I read some information. I saw an interview with you. And I'm like, the more I got to, the more interested I am, but I didn't find it immediately to watch. But I'll check on Amazon.
Well, I
And I'm
hope
out of
if
the.
you don't find it, let me know because then we have to make sure that it is on Amazon in the US.
All right, cool. I will absolutely know. I'll definitely follow up because I love everything you said about this project. Outside of the subject matter, I like that it 7 years and it changed you and it made you think. And those are the
Mhm.
type of people that I look for inspiration as well. So,
Mhm.
and the pictures I did see, and they're just pictures. They're not the experience you had walking into a room with his art. But the pictures, I'm like, I love this. There's something about it.
Yeah, it's something
So
really magical.
it really was. You mentioned this is British Columbia. You're from British Columbia,
Mhm.
but you live part time in Germany. How hard was that transition? I
You
see
know,
them as very different peoples in my head, and I know that's just it's not true, but
it
there had to
isn't,
be
it
something
isn't.
different.
It isn't, it isn't, because, when you think about Canadians, we're European settlers. So in the end of the day, when I go back there, my grandmother's family was all from Trier, Germany. So, you think of them as American. They were from, they went to Utah, then they came to Canada. But at the end of the day, a lot of the same things that they were doing at home are very culturally German. And I didn't realize that until I started going to Germany. I'm like, oh, this food is, my grandma's, she was from Trier and more like the Strasbourg, France border, Germany regions. But, the way she cooked, what she did was
Right.
so similar to the culture in Germany. I love Germany. I love Canada. I love the wilderness. I love the ocean. I love the West Coast. But what I really appreciated in Germany is their tradition and their discipline and
Mhm.
the balance between discipline, engineering, like, you think of German made and they're very efficient. Everyone's on time. Everyone's really reliable. I'm generalizing here, but it's, you know, but then, Sunday morning, there's a lineup at the bakery. Everyone's getting their buns, like there's so much tradition ingrained in Germany. And the other thing, it's so multicultural. Like
Right.
Vancouver is multicultural. You have a lot of people from all over the world. But for some reason, Germany's even more because you have way more people from the Middle East. You have way more people from regions in Africa. You have so many different countries and different languages, and it's really amazing. I love it. And I love the calmness of the Rhine River.
I
Yeah.
have yet to see it. I have some German heritage, and I'm not going to say I'm German. 23andMe will say I'm German.
Yes.
Um, But I grew up with the food. I mean, I live in Pittsburgh, and we have a lot of people here from Pennsylvania Dutch, which is Pennsylvania Deutsch, which is German.
Yeah.
So like the foods, I love pierogies. I love anything Hungarian or German related.
Yeah.
So I would think I would love Germany and feel comfortable there, but I do want to see the scenery more than I want to see the cities. I want
Oh,
to,
beautiful. Like the
yeah,
vineyards, and it's just like we love going to the Black Forest as like our family vacation spot, and it's just so amazing to just go hiking forever. And it's a different forest. Like BC forest, there's nothing like it in Vancouver. There's nothing like a BC forest on the West Coast Islands. Like you have such old growth trees. You have like
sure.
it's just the smell, the energy is just unreal. But Germany, you also have in the Black Forest, you have this kind of like, I don't know, sometimes you feel like you're in a Hansel and Gretel storybook. Like you just
Oh,
have like, like
I'm
all
sure
the
I would go
little,
there immediately.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the little gingerbread looking
Sure.
houses. And yeah, it's really beautiful.
I'm a woods type person. In fact, I'm 2 days away from spending another weekend in the woods in a little, camper I have just surrounded by trees. And I
Oh,
also know that old growth thing when I run into an old growth tree, which is rare around here because everything was
mhm.
deforested to build. When I do see one, I stop immediately. I'm like, "That is an old tree," and then I just think of stories about it. But to see
Yeah,
a forest of them, that's
yes. It's so like you really do get an intense energy being with old growth forest. Like you can Like I'm a tree hugger. Like I literally will touch the tree. Like when they say there's tree huggers in the West Coast, there's a reason for it. You're like
They're
recharging
beautiful.
your batteries by hugging that tree.
I hug ugly trees too sometimes. I like,
Yeah.
"You need some love, you weird little thing."
Yeah, yeah.
So I love that. Thank you. Like, you just brought a little warmth to me and a little hope for the
Just hug
weekend,
the
and,
tree. Like
now I
honoring
gotta go to
yourself.
Germany too. Um, so, real quick, were you a mom before or after you moved to Germany, and how did the move work if you were a mom before? I don't know the timeline on this.
I've been a mom since I was 24, 25. So
Couple
prior
years
to
now.
marriage with Uva, I had a daughter and in a relationship, and then Uva and I have a son together. He's 10, and then I have a stepson who's 14. So we live between the two. It's a little bit of like a mess because my daughter's going to school in Vancouver. My stepson's going to school in Vancouver. So we're between Germany and
Okay.
Vancouver. Um,
So you know that flight well.
yes, I know that flight very well. And
I'm sorry.
you know, before we moved there, we were going every summer. So we would go every summer for 2 months with the kids. And then we thought, you know what, let's just go there for an extended period of time. And it ends up being, we were just going to go for a year initially. COVID, like the moment we decide to move there, COVID hits and we couldn't travel. And Germany was in a lockdown for over a year. Like there was no restaurants, no nothing, like complete lockdown. And it was probably the best thing that ever happened because it like put on the brakes. We couldn't do
Sure.
anything. We had to completely like reset your entire way of thinking about structuring your day. Um, and it was a time for us to really relax and pause and, well, essentially relax. It took a while to know what that meant. And for the kids, it was a little hard though. They were really isolated in a new
I
place
can't
where they didn't
imagine what
have
kids had to deal
friends.
with.
Yeah, that's why my
Yeah.
daughter was like the first first flight going back to Vancouver.
No.
I can't be here. Everything's closed. And so yeah, it was hard on them. They love Germany. My stepson and my son, they speak German fluently. They grew up going there. Same with my daughter. She's been going there since she was like 5, 6 years old. So it's really a part of our life, but it was hard for them that year
I
moving
can
there.
imagine. Well, I think anybody young it was hard for, and there were silver linings. We started doing this streaming in 2020 because we were going crazy without any sort of communication, and
Yeah.
I hear a lot of stories about people that started projects in 2020 or I don't have children, but my wife and I had to redefine our relationship because
Mhm.
now we saw each other all the time, like, and we were
Yes.
in a small room, like a small house
Yeah.
together. And like, the people that I think came out of it together. They came out of it stronger. I think that a lot of people
Mhm.
learned a lot of compassion. Hopefully they learned the compassion part of, hey, we're all
Yeah.
going through something hard. We're all not enjoying this. So
Mhm.
I like to hear. I'm glad you told me another story of, yeah, it was hard and nobody enjoyed it, but there are silver linings.
Yeah.
Um, so I would like to do a show sometime on COVID. I think I'm still too close.
I know. It's this weird, like, hazy period where we're like, "Okay, it's over
It
now.
happens.
It's over now." But it was a very, very stark change for us. Like, it was a dramatic change because when we lived in
Whole new
Vancouver,
country,
we
all new
were
rules.
we had 2 restaurants here in Vancouver. We were both in full-time
Mhm.
production. We were like, go, 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 3 kids. And then it was like, boom, okay, nothing's open. Our home is not like remote, but it's kind of remote. It's like on 3 acres, kind of like off from the city. And it was it was like, okay, so now we don't have restaurants. We're not in production. What are we supposed to do? We're multitaskers. So I went back to school. I started doing online school. It was such an amazing thing to be able to do. Everything went online. So it's like
Yeah.
suddenly I can go back to university. It's online now. This is
And a lot of
great.
Ivy Leagues will put their whole catalogs out in 2020 as well. Like, you
I
can just
know.
watch very expensive courses for free, which is
Exactly.
great.
Yeah.
So, hey, I wanted to we're gonna move into a plug break now, so we could just talk about if you enjoying the show right now. please like, subscribe, all the stuff that everybody says and you never do. Please do it for us. We have some stuff coming up. We just released, Josh, is that part 4 of our interview with Bonnie Gordon went live today?
Yeah. The last part 4, went up today.
So on our YouTube channel, The Relationship Smith, you can check that out. We have an interview next week. It's going to be a special surprise of somebody else who's starting. They're moving from New York to LA. They just moved this week, and we're talking to them next week. So it's going to be interesting to kind of catch up on that shift in career when you go from New York to LA. And I'm really looking forward to it. We don't have the cards up, but just keep subscribed to the channel, and it's going to be a really fun one. And what else? Do we have anything else? Oh, we do have one other thing. Hopefully soon, we did a watch along with Tanya Meme of her first big movie that she did with Corey Feldman, and we're going to be releasing that soon. So keep your eyes out for that. It's Terror Inside. I'm sure we'll mention it here, but it'll be on our arbitrary media channels. So, anything else, guys? Did I miss anything?
You hit it on net. You hit the nail on the head. Very well done. I appreciate the. You took I don't have anything to help out with, so I'm just going to sit here.
I didn't want to deer in the headlights you and just throw it to you, so I thought I'd go through it.
No, it's awesome. No, we got a lot of stuff going on in a lot of different areas. I mean, that little stream along that we did with Tanya and the Typhoon crew too, which did an absolutely phenomenal job on that one. Was a lot of fun, and I'm glad that gets to see the light of day. So.
Have a great one. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Be safe out there. Treat each other well.